This is the local memorial to the men in this area who were butchered at the hands of the IRA. Every one of them off duty. Every one of them shot while they were doing a day's work or going to the church. Some of them was killed here while they were off duty in socialising in the EDR barracks. The reason why I'm here today is there's an orchestrated campaign by Republicans to blacken the name of the EDR and the RUC. Well, we want to send a message out to the Republicans. You ain't going to get away with it. This is how you justify your murderous campaigns down through the years, by demonising the members of the security forces. You're trying to point the finger at them for carrying out 120 murders. 26 Roman Catholics were killed in this area by loyalist paramilitaries in the South Armagh area. Where do you get your 120 from? 46 was killed. 46 Roman Catholics were killed by the IRA. Nearly twice as many as what the loyalists did. You know, so go and look at your figures again. The fact that near 400 people were killed by Republican paramilitaries in this area, or Republican terrorists in this area, speaks volumes. But obviously there's an orchestrated campaign to try and change that around. These men were ordinary working men who decided to go out and defend the communities. If they had decided to take the law into their own hands, perhaps 120 would have been the figure we would have been looking at today, because these men didn't know fear. They didn't live in loyalist areas, they lived in Republican areas and still took the chance and went out and joined the security forces and went out and did their duty. So these men should be getting a medal, not being demonised by a section of the community which are nothing but a bunch of murderers. That's all they are. And their whole campaign has been to demonise the EDR, the RUC, but also the Protestant community. It's okay to butcher them in the minibuses, it's okay to butcher them in the churches, in the orange halls, it's okay to kidnap them and torture them. But then, you want to go a step further and demonise them, because you only could kill 400 out of them. You weren't happy with that. You now want to try and demonise them as some type of terrorist organisation that you were fighting. The reality is, these were ordinary working men. And I would ask for the evidence, and we have challenged the people who say that they have evidence. We have challenged them. We will have a public debate with any of them, and we have challenged them to a public debate, but they're not prepared to come out and take us on, because they know what they work on is made up, it is hearsay, it is fictional, it is not fact or the truth. And that's what we work with, is facts and the truth. And again, when you look on our website, if anybody can find anything that is not truth or truthful or think is lies, well, we would be quite happy for them to contact us. But don't stand and hide behind hearsay, and because people are dead, be able to say things about them. We're challenging you, as the families of these loved ones, to come out and debate it with us. And let's get it out into the open for once and for all, and let's talk about who was guilty in this area for the murders. Because every one of these men, if they had decided, could have killed all around them, because they certainly had the ability, they certainly had the know-how, and they had the opportunity. They didn't do it. They decided to do it through the lawful means and defend the community through the law, which unfortunately has let them down. But we're not going to let them down and allow these Republican scum to demonise them. We intend to defend and to prove that these men were genuine law-abiding citizens. The other thing is as well, we know who carried out the murder of our loved ones, and it's not hearsay. We can put facts to them, and we are going to put facts to them. This historical investigation team is now started on the King's Mill massacre. They're now starting on my father's murder and a few other murders in this area. And let's see where that takes us, because we're not basing our evidence on hearsay. It is fact. People who witnessed, individuals carrying out certain acts, people who know who was involved and were too afraid to come forward, have now come forward to ourselves. And it's not hearsay, they were there. They seen it. unlike some of the information that these Republicans are putting out. Like Mr. Weir. Mr. Weir is a convicted killer. He even admits that he was told by somebody else most of these allegations. He wasn't even about the area at this time. But this, talk about hearsay. This is second-hand hearsay. It's not even first-hand hearsay, it's second-hand hearsay. John Weir is a convicted killer. He is a psychopath who has got a serious problem, and the sooner that that man seeks help, the better. But although he seems to be good enough for the Republicans to latch on to, and if that's what they want, well, let them latch on all they want, but we will prove what John Weir is all about, and we will also prove that it was the local people who were involved in the murder of our loved ones. They didn't come from 50 mile away. It was our next door neighbours in some cases, and in some cases our friends, people who we trusted. Some of them worked on the farms with our family members, some of them worked on the roads with them. But let me assure you of this, we will make sure that the truth is told in South Armagh, and you people who betray yourselves as innocent, genuine, law-abiding citizens, well, whenever we put the facts out on the table and out onto the internet and out to the police, this HET, we'll see who yous are, and we'll let the people see who yous are. And there's no detail we're going to leave out, and there's no stone. Unlike our politicians who said there'll be no stone left unturned, we're going to make sure there's no stone left unturned. So we're coming after you, and you better believe that, because we are going to come after you, and we're going to make sure we get our justice one way or the other through the courts.